Hey, everybody. Happy December. It is officially the first full week of December. The first full week of December has come and gone, meaning that we only have a few weeks left in 2025. Before we start sermon today, before I hurt your feelings today, for those of you guys wanting to know, yes, baby got here. Yes, baby got here. Baby got here a little bit after midnight last night. We were all hoping she would have been born yesterday on the 6th, and she said, no, I'm going to just do it when I want to do it. So, happy being born day, little Chloe. Pictures to come, I promise you. But she is super healthy, super happy. Been, as Brody and Allie said, a super chill baby all night. Allie is doing great. Brody is doing great. Mom and Dad are doing great. Little baby Chloe is phenomenal, fantastic. So, weighed almost 8 pounds, little long legs. So, and I got what I wanted, a little Snow White baby. We have a little Snow White baby. She has Allie's gorgeous, dark Ecuadorian hair and Brody's ginger skin. So, Snow White was born today in Tacoma. Anyway, but we're going to start on, just because, I mean, if I'm going to hurt your feelings with Sunday sermon, then I might as well have something good to come with first, right? Right? But it's kind of interesting. Before I sat down to write this, I actually have 3 versions of the same sermon written. 3. Let that sink in a minute. 3. It's something I've been thinking about a lot lately, and I was talking to Sass this morning because I was like, dude, I don't know what to write this over. I kind of feel crappy today. I don't feel good. I can't kiss on the new grandbaby because I'm in Oklahoma. Baby is not in Oklahoma. The weather's kind of And I was like, I don't really know what I want to write about today. And she said exactly what I'm going to talk about today. And it's something that's been on my mind a lot. It's something that's on everybody's mind at the end of any year. So I'm just letting you guys know. At the end of any year, it's on everybody's mind. It just is. Today we're going to talk about the sacred art of letting go. Because for every one of us, that is different. Some people can let go like this, never happen. Some people, it can take months, years. Some people never are able to let go of certain things. And here's the thing. When I said some people are never able to let go of certain things, that's everyone. That's everyone. There are some things that every single one of you guys that will ever listen to this sermon can't let go of. A trauma, a hurt, a failure, a perceived failure. There is something that every single one of us can't let go of. You just can't let go of it. It's okay. Even if it's just, my coffee tasted like crap this morning and I will never forgive my coffee maker. That is a valid thing to not let go of. But the thing about letting go is that we all hold on to stuff when we're wanting to rock it forward. We all hold on to stuff when we don't want to sit still anymore. I know you're like, wait a minute. No, I don't. Yes, you do. We all do it. You're ready to move forward. You're ready to be more. You're ready to step into your path. get all your manifestations, get all the things you've been working hard for, but here you are, sitting here, holding on to bullshit. We all do it. True forward motion means that you have to let go of stuff. And I want you to think about it like this. When you press down the accelerator of a car, what happens? The motor turns, gasoline is used, and you rocket forward, right? Well, what would happen if you unplugged that line and no gas went to your engine? Would you go forward? My sugar would go forward. You wouldn't go forward. You wouldn't go forward, right? If you had no gas going to your engine, you wouldn't go forward. Letting go is not a performance art, as a lot of people on social media make it. I said what I said. A lot of people on social media make it a big deal. Letting go is a performance for everyone. It's not. I mean, if you need it to be, you need it to be. I get it. But it's not. It's not a performance. It's not words just spoken into the air. It's not saying you're going to let go of something, but then secretly behind the scenes, never letting go of it. Oh, I don't think about that person anymore, but you still have 900 photos of them in your house. Oh, I'm not worried about that job anymore. I left that job years ago, but you still stalk your old boss on social media. Oh, I'm not even thinking about that house that I moved out of. I shouldn't, but you drive by all the time. That's not letting go. Letting go is standing at the edge of a cliff, looking out over this land, this world in front of you that you've never, ever, ever seen before. And I want you to think of it like that. It might look like the next mountain in front of you, and it's gorgeous, and that's exactly where you want to be, is the top of that mountain over there. But right now, you're on a cliff. And you aren't Wile E. Coyote. You ain't going to get to walk out a few steps before you fall. You have to look at that cliff and realize that the universe has been leading you there all along. Movement is key to life. You can't just sit sedentary as a human. You just can't. You just can't. I mean, I guess you can, but you're not going to have a great life and you're not going to survive very long, are you? Now, before anybody comes for me in the comments, I meant physically, energetically, etc. Not, you know exactly what I'm saying. So don't go there with the bullshit, because I ain't doing it. Movement is the sacred art of loosening our grip on the past and allowing new breath to enter our spirit. And what's funny is, every single person, every single practitioner, every single spiritual person, every single religious person, every person has stood at this crossroads and said, if I go over here, if I go over here, this is something new. And I would like that new thing. I've been manifesting that new thing. So if I turn right, I can have this new thing over here, and if I go forward, I can have this new thing over here. But if I stay right here, though, like I've got my house built over here of, you know, regrets, and I've got all this other stuff that I've piled up, you know, and these are things I've lived with every day, and you talk yourself into staying right there. But there's a moment when all of that past becomes too heavy for you to continue to carry forward. And that's when you reach the point of knowing that you need to let go of it. And then you reach the point of saying that you need to let go of it, right? But here's the kicker. And here's where I'm going to hurt feelings, including my own. Few people actually release it. few people actually release it. They say they want to release it. They know they need to release it, but few people actually release it. And I know every one of you right now is like, oh, well, I do. I'm going to need y'all to be honest with yourselves right now. Because I had to be really honest with myself. That's why I have 3 versions of this sermon. Because I had to be really honest with myself. Have I really let go of shit? And over the last couple of months, I have had to forcibly. The universe didn't give me a choice anymore. Was like, nope, 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 nope. And nope. Because I wasn't going to let go of it. I said I was. I said I did. I said I had. I said I'm past that. I'm past that feel. I'm past that feel. And I'm past that feel. And I wasn't. For some of you guys, it's a past relationship. For most of us, it's a past relationship. It's a job. It's a family member. It's giving up something that we thought we'd never ever give up. It was the thing we wanted the most in the world, right? Few people actually release it. Because letting go means acknowledging that that story, that part of that story, that chapter is complete. It's done. Do you know why I have never watched the last season of Supernatural? I've watched the last 2 or 3 episodes in it, or the first 2 or 3 episodes in the last season, but I've never watched the last season because guess what that means? I have to acknowledge that one of my favorite shows is over. I've never watched the last episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Because that was my mom's favorite thing growing up. That was my childhood. So if I watch that last one, that means that's over, right? Right? Well, a lot of you guys know I laid my last living grandma to rest on Tuesday. When you realize that your last grandma is gone, that's a very sobering thing. When you lose both parents, I've lost both biological parents. I make the joke, I'm an orphan. Not funny, but funny. When you lose the people that physically made you, that's a very sobering experience. Because you go, oh no, I am legitimately an adult. When you realize that both of the people that biologically made you are gone, you go, oh God, I'm an adult. You go, oh my God. But when you lose that last grandmother, and here's the kicker, it doesn't matter if you had an amazing relationship with that grandmother or not. That's your childhood you have to let go of. That's your childhood you have to let go of. My cousins and I sat around talking about letting go a lot this past weekend. Letting go means acknowledging that chapter is complete. It means stepping away from the identity that trauma, that wound, that memory, that fantastical thing. It means stepping away from that and stepping toward a new identity. Stepping toward a new version of you, a new healed part of you. We want that. Don't get me wrong. We all want that new version of us. We want it so bad, right? But we don't want to let go of that. There's a Carl Jung quote, and it mirrors a quote from Buddha. And if you guys have followed me for any length of time, then you know that this is one of my favorite Buddhist quotes. But Carl Jung said, I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. Words are important. The Buddhist quote that's on all my cards, all of my stuff is, what you think you become. If you are always so-and-so's ex, if you are always an ex-employee of this, if you are always, oh, I used to live there. Y'all, letting go is not forgetting. Letting go is not pretending. Letting go is not erasing. Letting go is not closing that door and never ever opening that thing again. Sometimes it is, but very rarely. Letting go is choosing. Letting go is no longer watering a garden of dead plants. Let that sink in. Letting go is no longer watering a dead garden. There is not a single blade of grass living there anymore, but you're still watering it. You're still giving energy and time and emotion and care. There ain't a single blade of grass in there. Not a single one. Even the sticks are tired of you watering them at this point. Letting go is choosing to release all of those ghosts that you've been feeding for too long. How many of you have created an egregore out of someone's memory? Do you even know you've done it? When you look around and you say, oh man, I remember when I got this, it was with so-and-so and our relationship was so great then. Why do you keep it? If you keep it because that vacation was the first time you ever went to Hawaii or you ever stood at the top of a mountain, that's different. But if you're keeping something because it reminds you of so-and-so, a past relationship, a past job, something like that, a past friend, you're feeding that ghost. You're feeding that egregore. You have to choose yourself over history. I'm going to say that again, and I want you guys all to listen very, very carefully, because this is something, when I was writing this and I reread that, I went, ouch. You have to choose yourself over history. In spiritual things, in spiritual work, and shamanism, witchcraft, energy work, any type of spiritual relationship with source, with God, with Allah, with Buddha, in any type of religion, we cling to the past because that wound is familiar. And I'm going to say something that it's going to make a lot of sense to you, but you're going to go, oh. Every religion, everyone has a sacrifice story. Everyone. And when you are in any of those religions, you hear that sacrifice story. Everybody knows the sacrifice of Jesus. Do you know the sacrifice that Buddha made to become Buddha? Walked away from riches, from a kingdom, from ruling, from all of that, to live by himself on the road. Every religion has a sacrifice tale. We cling to that wound because it's familiar. We cling to that wound because we're told to cling to that wound because, oh, well, you made that sacrifice. You gave up a career for this. You gave up a career for family. That was a noble sacrifice. And it was in the moment. And now your kids are grown and in college or out and about. They have kids of their own. Why are you still clinging to that feeling right there? Oh, I sacrificed, going to college so I could go to work to take care of this or that or this or that. And that was years ago as well. You took care of this or that. Why are you still clinging to that narrative? Why are you still clinging to that sacrifice? I do it too. So please don't think that I'm like, oh, blah, 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 blah. No. For the longest time, I wore this heavy ass mantle of I gave up 2 lucrative careers, 2 very amazing careers to raise a family. I gave up a career because I was told to give up a career. That was a noble sacrifice for my kids, right? I clung to that. My kids are grown. My youngest is in college. The things that I am still sacrificing and I am still giving up are only because I'm clinging to that damn wound. What are you clinging to? Healing requires responsibility. Some people are never going to be able to undertake the responsibility that they had a part in that thing right there. And the thing that a lot of people don't realize is a divorce takes two people. Now, I know some of you are like, well, he cheated and blah, blah, blah. I get that. But a divorce takes two people. An argument takes two people. A problem takes two things, a right and a wrong. Yes? Yes? Don't go, whoa, but. Just let what I said sink in. Just listen. Just let what I said sink in. Healing requires responsibility. And you have to take responsibility for your own healing. I'm going to say something else, and I want you guys to let it sink in. You aren't responsible for someone else's healing. Moving forward requires you to step into a version of you who is no longer defined by something, someone, some place, some situation that hurt you or broke you. Letting go is a rite of passage. Letting go is a self-initiation. Letting go is a shedding of skin of that part of you to become something more. There's a quote from Alan Watts, and if you guys have watched me for any length of time, you know I'm a huge Alan Watts fan. The only way to make sense of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance. Forward movement is not something that's accidental. You don't just accidentally start moving forward. It's intentional. Every step is intentional. When you run, when you were a kid and you just took off running across a field, playing tag or whatever, it was intentional. You were watching every place you put your feet, yes? Every step you took, you got to leap that hole over there. Don't trip on that log. You run, run, run. Every step you took was intentional. Everyone. Those steps are chosen every single morning when you wake up. When you get out of bed, that is the very first forward step of that day. Think about it. That is your very first step of the day. When you put your feet on the floor. That's your very first step. And we all have a specific side of the bed we get off of, right? I sleep in the middle of my bed, but God forbid I get off the right side. If I get off the right side, maybe my dogs were over here or something and I couldn't get over them. If I have to get off the right side of my bed, I will go do what I had to do and come get back in the bed to get off the left side. I'm not kidding. Because that's the wrong side of the bed. Every one of you knows what I'm talking about, right? If you start your day off with a different first step, you feel just wrong, right? Wrong, right? Do you ever argue with yourself? Well, I've got to put my left foot down on the floor first, not my right foot. No. You swing your feet off. Put them down. Intentionally. On the floor. Moving forward means that you stop arguing with the past. If you were playing tag, I want you to think back to when you were playing tag as a kid. Just running through a field. And you know, okay, there's a hole over here, there's a log over here, there's a rock right here. You just ran. Did you argue with yourself in the moment? Well, but why is that hole there? No, you just jumped over the damn hole. Did you argue with yourself about that log? No, you ran around the log. Or you jumped over it. Did you argue? Did you go and argue with your dad, your grandpa, or whoever owned that land way before that put that boulder there? Did you go argue with them? Hey, I'm gonna need to call a timeout with Tag. I've got to go chase down old man Jenkins because when he had his farm here, he put this rock here as a marker, and I don't want it there. Did you go argue with him? No. You just went around it, or you climbed it. Think about that. You have to stop negotiating with old versions of you. You have to stop negotiating with old versions of you that haven't existed for decades. You have to stop trying to resurrect what spirit already buried. What God, Allah, Buddha, whatever you believe in, what life, what your path forward already buried. Stop trying to resurrect it. I don't care how amazing of a necromancer you are. Stop trying to resurrect these old versions of yourself that haven't existed for a long time. I want you to listen to this next thing really carefully, okay? You have to be willing to say, and be honest with yourself. Are you willing to say this, okay? I want the life that's in front of me more than the fear of all of this crap behind me. I want the life in front of me more than I fear the death of all of that stuff I'm leaving behind. We always ask the universe for new signs, manifestations, blessings. Just give me a sign I'm on the right path. Yet we don't ever prepare ourselves when they arrive. We don't. Some people do. You do. But not all the time. Not all the time, right? We ask the universe for these manifestations, these amazing things, and then when they arrive, we go, but that means I have to move, and that means I have to change jobs, or that means I have. Sometimes your blessings come disguised as discomfort. In fact, a lot of times they come disguised as discomfort. Manifestations come wearing the clothes of chaos. Oh, I know it well. Manifestations will come wearing the clothes of destruction. Sometimes that manifestation, that opportunity that you begged and prayed and hoped and did workings for, it looks nothing like what you thought it would. There's a Buddhist quote that says, just as a snake sheds its skin, we must shed our past again and again. Awakening requires clear perception. Life requires clear perception, but we don't like clear perception, do we? We like the old perception of the things that have always been there. But you can't see the new opportunities that are being placed right in front of you if you have on those glasses of all of that old pain that's back there. If you have on blinders, if you have on goggles of all of those old traumas and those old pains, how the hell are you going to see the amazing thing that's right in front of you? You can't. You can't perceive any blessing when your vision is just fogged up with fear. You can't grasp any manifestations. You can't grab them and hold on to them if you are still holding on to grief and loss and trauma and fear. Because if you're still holding on to those things, what hand are you going to reach out and grab those new blessings with? Because if somebody has figured out how to grow a couple more arms, I would like to know, because I think those would come in handy. If your hands are already full of old shit, then you can't pick up new shit. The universe offers you new doors every single day. The universe offers you a new path every single day. But you have to be brave enough to open the door, to walk through the door, to take that step off that cliff. What's really funny is people like to think that the universe is stingy. They do. They do. They like to say that the universe is stingy. Spirit just doesn't ever give me what I want, what I'm asking for, what I need. But the thing is, it doesn't withhold anything. It's not stingy. Every single guide you have, the gods that you worship, your ancestors, they aren't waiting to be worthy. They are waiting for you to be worthy so they can give you blessings. You've always been worthy. You've always been worthy. They're simply waiting for you to be open. They're waiting for you to take off those damn goggles. They're waiting for you to let go of all of that trauma, that pain, all the bullshit that you've been holding on to for a long time. You have to unclench that fist that holds all of that past bullshit. You have to release that old narrative of who you were. You have to stop rehearsing old versions of reality way past their expiration date. Let that sink in a minute. Every one of us knows somebody that all they talk about is past things. 20, 30, 40 years ago. This person did this, this person did this, this person did this, this person did this. All they talk about is that. And maybe that's you. Because we all go through that. We all at one point in our life is that person, are that person. All of us. You can't get out of it. I'm sorry. You have to go through that. But we know somebody that never steps out of it. Carl Jung has a quote that says, "Your vision will become clear only when you look into your own heart. He who looks outside dreams. He who looks inside awakens." Life is always bringing you amazing things. Life is always bringing you amazing, glorious things. But most of the time, we are too blind to see it because we have those goggles on our face. We're holding on to all of that crap from the past, and we don't want to let it go. We don't want to let it go because we might forget. We might forget. If we let those things go, we might forget. You're not going to forget. Letting go doesn't mean wiping your memory. Letting go doesn't mean losing the lesson. Letting go doesn't mean going right back into that same shit. But letting go of those intense things, those items, photos, clothes, jewelry, shoes, socks. Letting go of those things that carry energy and carry memory. How many of you guys right now have something in your closet that you can't bear to throw away because there was a traumatic experience that happened with that thing? Whether it was a pair of shoes, a jacket. How many of you? I better not hear a single person say nobody, because say that they don't have it, because you do. I know you do. I have shit in there. Why are you keeping it? You're not going to forget that experience, are you? By getting rid of that item, are you going to completely erase your memory of that moment? No. No, you're not. You have to unclench that fist that's holding that shit. You have to release the script of who you were, and you have to stop rehearsing all of those old versions of you because they no longer exist. You are not the you from last year, the you from 10 years ago, the you from when you were 5. You are no longer that person, and you will never be that person again. Now, let me say this. There's a big difference in keeping something that has a trauma bond to it and keeping something as a remembrance. I have several of my grandma's clothes in there. I have several of my mom's sweatshirts. I wear them when I miss her. But I also was keeping a whole bunch of clothing that I never wore because there was a traumatic experience that happened in that pair of pants, with those shoes on, with that jacket on. But I couldn't throw them away. I have thrown them away. I've thrown them away. Moving is a glorious time for a purge. Manifestation isn't magic alone, y'all. Manifestation has to have participation, active participation. And I always tell you guys, you can't win the lottery if you don't take your ass down to the store and buy a ticket. Same thing goes for manifestation. You have to actively participate in it. Blessings are going to flow to people that are brave enough to let go of that other bullshit over there. The ones who leap off that cliff. The ones who are ready to go walk on that glorious path up that next mountain. The ones who trust that spirit is leading them to rebirth, not to ruin. In this moment, right now, every single day, the universe is handing you new opportunities, laying synchronicities at your feet. Because how many of you guys lately have seen all of these synchronicities happening? You see repeating numbers, you see the same items, the same animals, the same, whatever it is. You keep seeing these messages. The universe is like, hey, over this way. If you go over here, this is where your manifestation is. This is over here. Psst, psst. Moving forwards is walking through that open door. Backwards is being closed. And I want you to let that doorway back there be closed. I want you to let that door slam behind your butt. Don't let it hit your butt on the way out. Let it lock from the other side. You don't need to go back in. It's okay. I'm going to say something. I want you guys all to just close your eyes for a minute. I want you to listen to me really carefully. Got your eyes closed? I want you to let it sink in. You have permission to move towards the life that you were meant to live. You have permission. Take a deep breath. Step forward. Exhale all of that bullshit in the past. Walk forward with your head held high, not just hoping and wishing, but choosing to actively be on the path you were supposed to be on. There's a quote from Rumi that says, "It is your road and yours alone. Others may walk it with you, but no one can walk it for you, including the universe." Your own magic, your own personal power reminds you on a daily basis that you were not born to stay where you started. If you were born to stay where you started, you'd still be in that nursery in the hospital, yeah? Still be in the bassinet in your parents' bedroom, yeah? Today I want to give you guys the permission and the blessing of moving forward with clarity. Release what no longer resonates with you. Go listen to the Frozen song, Let It Go. That's what that whole movie is about. I hope that you see all of the blessings that are laid in front of you. And I hope that you are brave enough to take them in. I hope that your path is open with every single purposeful step that you take forward today and beyond. Even as Zeus is laying here snoring, that's his path. To snore like an elephant for a 3-pound dog. You have permission to go and be amazing, my friend. You have permission to let go of all of that past bullshit that's holding you down. You have permission to let that door lock from the inside behind you and you step out onto that amazing new path. I promise that when you step off that cliff towards something new, Spirit is not going to let you fall. Have faith in you, my friend. Have faith in the universe. Have faith in your chosen belief. God, Allah, Buddha, Spirit. Have faith in those things that will not let you fall. Your ancestors will not let you fall. Go be phenomenal. Go be fantastic. Go have the most amazing Sunday that you've ever had. Go plant your feet in the most powerful places that they can be planted. Even if that's just self-care on the couch. I have faith in you. You're a phenomenal person. You're a phenomenal human. Go let the universe reward you. Go be phenomenal.